Eva. We say good morning to Frank as
and
well.
welcome back to you.
Welcome back, Tammy.
Welcome back to you as well, Eva.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Filling in for Stephanie.
Yeah, you're going to be in for the week,
We're
right?
not on vacation with stuff, but we're here.
But we're here.
You know, we're here.
Steph's out on vacation having a lovely time on a beach
Beautiful time,
somewhere.
yeah.
Devo's working, but he's in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
We'll see him later this morning as well.
Yeah. You know, a lot of those resorts that you go to, a lot of them say, hey, you know what, don't tip. We want you to just relax, have fun. And I love those resorts.
Yeah.
It's great because it's not on your mind all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so the negative view of tipping and tipping culture just going out of control is apparently rising according to a new study. American study. So Americans are not generous when it comes to tipping, apparently. According to this new study that was released by Pew Research, it says that most diners leave less than the standard 18 to 20%, first off. And that's for a sit-down meal. Other stats as well, it looks as if barely half of U.S. adults will actually always tip a bartender when they get a drink.
Okay.
They won't. And 1 in 3 Americans think that tipping culture is out of control. What do you think about this? When I can relate to the tipping culture being out of control, because I'm on that fence
You
right
mean
now.
it's out of control in the sense that everywhere where you go right now, people are asking for a tip?
Everywhere you get your own stuff, you walk up to the counter, and where tips weren't asked for before, now they're being requested. And I'm confused. I'm like, did we used to tip this way? And I know we didn't. I know the pandemic had a lot to do with it, but I'm pulling back from that now. I'm like, okay.
And it's not just tipping. Everywhere I go right now, there's either a tip at the end or a donation.
Yes.
They're always asking for a $2, $3, $5 donation. So yeah, and I think right now everybody's going to be pulling back because everything's really expensive. Like when you go out to eat right now, it's really expensive, and I don't blame it as well. The restaurants, all their costs are gone up. Everything's gone up.
Yeah.
But then for that person, that server, how do you feel for them?
If I'm sitting down at a restaurant, I will absolutely tip at least 20%, if not more. If the service is really bad, then maybe not.
Yes.
But I will tip. I'll still always leave a tip. If I'm getting a drink from a bartender, I will always tip. If I am going to a cafe and I pick up a drink myself and I pick up the sandwich myself, I get my own napkins, my own fork and knife, and I bring it all to the counter, I'm sorry.
And I think that's fine. I don't think you should have to tip if it's a self-serve type of deal. But I think if you're going to a restaurant, if you're sitting down in a restaurant and you have a server, just include that in your cost that you are going to have to leave a tip for the server, right? And sometimes some restaurants, the server doesn't even get your full tip, right? They split it. There's a 5% tip out. Server mind right here, okay? I was a server.
You were.
If you're going to a restaurant, I think you need to tip unless, like you said, if the service is bad.
I see. Even when the service
you
is
still
bad,
tip, but just not as much.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But you
Many of
always leave a tip if you're
the
sitting
servers
down in a restaurant.
On
Absolutely.
often those tips. I was a server for a period of time too.
Yeah.
Back at Bellamy's. I don't know if you remember that old restaurant.
I do not.
Where was that?
Bellamy's was in Barrie and Newmarket.
Okay.
This is an old, I shut down. There's some of those older restaurants that shut down. Had like a salad bar in the front.
Oh, yeah.
Remember those?
Remember.
Kind of like a Ponderosa, but not a Ponderosa.
Oh, Bellamy's.
Bellamy's.
Okay, let us know. Do you know Bellamy's? And also, do you think tipping culture is out of control? At Breakfast TV on Twitter or on X, I just read something about Olive Garden saying that they're now putting the automatic gratuity.
A lot of restaurants are doing that as well.
Yeah, just to battle this because people are
Sometimes
leaving
you have to
nothing.
look at your bill at the end to see if the gratuity is already added.
Even that, I'm like, okay, sure.
I love
do
that.
it. I'm okay with it too. All right, 6:26 here on Breakfast Television. More BT coming up after the break. We'll say good morning to Sid, and we'll have your top stories as well. You're watching BT.